it with Silver Laddie's win, ridden by the astute horseman Rod Quinn. Cheltenham, they're in the mounting yard and we're about...
Thank you, Brandon. A bigger field here, the fourth event. Track still rated good, but the time in the previous was excellent. Even though we've had a few what seemed to be heavy showers of rain, you certainly would have noticed it in the previous event, but they were only 1.5 seconds outside the track record. This is the fourth event. It's a restricted race, restricted to one Metro win in the last year. Gallopini, been very easy on track, has drifted out markedly. Lodger and Mr. Casanova dispute favouritism. Mr. Casanova just the favourite on track. On Super Tab, it's just the other way around. Gallopini third pick, but very easy. A 1600 metre race, the Cranbourne Auto Market Daihatsu Handicap. And they're behind the gates and about to be called up. Gallopini's rider is Brett Gardner, and he's just riderless at the moment. Horse that was expected to probably have done a lot more by now. Been set for some pretty big races throughout his career, but didn't quite deliver the goods, and he's now into a one Metro win race in the last year, trained by David Hall. Did run in the Goodwood 5 runs ago. Newmarket was bound for the spread rope last year, so he's had earmarked a number of times some pretty handy races. His Flemington form was always pretty good. So he's the third pick today, but easy. Mr. Casanova has only had the 9 starts, 4 wins, trained by Colin Alderson. Reese McLeod with a ride, and has drawn barrier 1. A last start Sandown winner with the 52 kilos. It beat Sir Linford. But a form overall has been consistent for Mr. Casanova. Lodger, Max Hinton the trainer, suggesting Lodger will be better at a mile and beyond. He was strong last start at Sandown, and he's disputing favouritism. Correct weight at Cheltenham on the previous, correct weight in Adelaide. This is race 4, Caulfield, and on Super Tab, Lodger is at $4, Mr. Casanova at $4.20. Mr. Casanova having drawn 1, so he goes into the gates. Gallopini $5.10, but he has been very easy with the bookmakers. Lodger going up to gate number 2, so the favourites have drawn barriers 1 and 2. Chiaretto going into the stalls now. Silk Shamrock is ready. Spectacular Gold. There's a couple of horses that always promised a lot more. Spectacular Gold was placed in a Caulfield Guineas. Gallopini being replated at the moment. Silk Shamrock had form in really good quality races there for a while, and now trained by Gerald Egan, but he was running around in some of the listed and Group 3 type races. Silk Shamrock, and performing really well for a period. Like the look, hasn't won since the Bairnsdale Cup in September last year, but the conditions of this race give some of those horses an opportunity to bounce back in to the winners list. Storm Rebel's been around for a while, an 8-year-old lining up for his 60th start. He is the winner of 13 races. Most of them have gone into the gates. The farrier at work on Gallopini as Quencher joins the line. Quencher ready, like the look, is still away. So is Storm Rebel. Kiribati is locked away. And just the 3 away from the line at the moment. Gallopini and the farrier at work on the top weight. Replating a shoe. The previous event was taken out by Raptor, who's now made it 2 wins in a row, trained by Greg Urell, and impressive in fast time. It beat Donadoni. All the winners have raced up on the speed today. The second race, She's Alluring, who was up outside the leader, as was C Senor in the first event. So the pattern's been pretty similar in the first 3 races, with the winner sitting second or third. Farrier just making sure that this plate is okay on Gallopini. It's out of a mare called Ranchita, who had the 4 white socks. She certainly stood out, was trained by the late Jeff Murphy. Ranchita, and she won, might have won close to the $1 million. I think she won a Magic Millions race. Now it's only Gallopini that we await. All the other runners have been locked away. The final look at Eagle Farm Race 4. Well, it's not a final look for Eagle Farm, but it will be for Caulfield in a second. 7 minutes to Eagle Farm Race 4. With 9 and 10 being a late scratching prime investment. At Caulfield, Lodger 410, Mr. Casanova at 380. Gallopini 560. Gallopini going up now. And we are set to go for race number 4, Cranbourne Auto Market Daihatsu Handicap. Restricted to 1 Metro win in the last year. Lodger and Mr. Casanova are the 2 favourites. Racing. Lodger missed it a little bit. Mr. Casanova wasn't that flash away, but it's over on the rails and will be able to boot through and still take a handy spot. Storm Rebel jump, probably the best. It's certainly going to lead as Quencher came across with Kiribati and liked the look. So Storm Rebel can take the trail if so desired. Kiribati drew alongside of it and will now take up the running. Quencher second, Storm Rebel is up running third. And then a bunch of them. Wider out was Cater going up around Like the Look, and then Chiaretto in the red and white colours. And Mr. Casanova on the rails settles down about 7th. 2 lengths to Silk Shamrock and then Lodger. Next Ready to Walk, 1.5 to Gallopini, 3 wide around Archley. And then Spectacular Gold and Contenders 2 lengths away last. Turning down the side with about 800 left to travel. Kiribati in front. Cater running second, 2 lengths to Quencher, and 4th on the inside now, but only a couple of lengths off the lead, was Like the Look, and then came Chiaretto. On the inside of Chiaretto was Mr. Casanova. Now Gallopini's 3 and 4 wide around Like the Look, and then Silk Shamrock and Lodger. Ready to Walk, Archley hooking wider around it, and then Spectacular Gold and Contenders. They ran to the 400. Kiribati picking up the pace and led by a length and a half on Cater. 2 lengths to Quencher, Chiaretto, Storm Rebel, Mr. Casanova. Lodger down nearer the rails, and then came Gallopini well back. Kiribati hard up against the rails of the 200 is well clear. It led by 3 lengths on Cater. Mr. Casanova's running on. Kiribati 2 lengths in front. Mr. Casanova balancing up and finishing hard. Mr. Casanova reeled in Kiribati, and Mr. Casanova got the prize and beat Kiribati. Third home was Lodger, and then Quencher, Archley, Storm Rebel. Next Contend. They were followed home about middle of the pack, Silk Shamrock, and then Chiaretto, Cater. Gallopini was never really a chance. He was wider out on the track and liked the look at the end of the field. Kiribati, who nearly stole the race, but Mr. Casanova had that inside gate, and that may have been the best thing that he had in his favour, because he was able to have the last shot at Kiribati, and even Lodger was able to race midfield but on the rails. So the 3 place getters have all been sitting on the rails throughout. 5, 12, 4 are the numbers. Mr. Casanova just reeling in Kiribati, who was at big odds, $26 for the win, and third number 4. Just behind them, Quencher number 7, without seriously threatening, and Storm Rebel, who raced on the pace and held its spot more than anything else. 5, 12, 4 are the numbers. Race 4 at Caulfield.
Okay, Danny, thanking you very much. As we watch the head-on, have a look at the Colin Alderson colours. In behind the leader, blue sleeves, blue cap. Young Reese McLeod unleashes this promising son of Suave Dancer. He pounces on Kiribati, claims him in the run to the line. 1:36.59 is the time they've run, 1:36.59. Number 7 in 4th for New South Wales, first 4 players. Heading out at Eagle Farm, parading at Randwick.
Far and above. Gay Waterhouse, 420 and 180. He wouldn't get the 420 on track. So good money late for Sir Spec. Still a couple to move in, including Transmit and also Daneborough. Race before this was won by Silver Laddie. Rod Quinn, number 3, beat 8 holes of assembly. 2 Crime Wave, third, 5, 4th. Sugarland, number 8, the third winner. The second, 5 Fleeting, and 1 Zulu Legend took out the first. So Surspect, best back late, clear favourite in the ring. Just about ready to jump from the 1400 metres. Racing this time, and a beautiful start it was, and Max Success hunted hard is the early leader, but Mr. Brave Lad is going through on the inside to shade Max Success. Consortium trapped on a limb third, followed by Surspec improving, and then Elmo Beach over on the fence is handled, then Transmit followed by Razor King. A length Superfine, Freedom Mist, and Daneborough drops out last. The leader is Mr. Brave Lad as they swing the first corner and go by the 1000 Consortium. Into second posse, it had been trapped very, very wide. Max Success Eases in behind the 2 leaders. Suspect a trifle wide. Then Handle on the inside. A length and a half to 2. Elmo Beach pushed along. And then Transmit over on the rails from Razor King Superfine. Daneborough spotting the leaders a long start. And last of all is Freedom Mist as they race up towards the home corner at the 550. And here Mr. Brave Lad is hanging. Second Consortium and Max Success over on the inside with a mile of room. Suspect is running fourth, and then it's Stablemate Handle and a couple of lengths to Transmit and a good margin to the others headed by Razor King. They straighten for the run of the judge, and Transmit wide out has gone up quickly to Max Success and Suspect, and then Handle. Consortium struggles. Mr. Brave Lad has given up the ghost. It's now Transmit and Suspect. Suspect takes over from Transmit. Handle's getting right up on the inside. The Waterhouse pair. Suspect, Handle. Handle's going home better, and Handle gets the money from Suspect and Transmit. Then a photo for fourth. Daneborough made up many lengths with Max Success. The other one in the photo for the fourth. Then Superfine, Freedom Mist, Consortium. Razor King from Elmo Beach and Mr. Brave Lad at the tail of the field. Number 7 Handle right up on the inside. Strike me pink. Look, it might be just an omen, or it might be just the pattern, but you would swear blind there is a fast lane. 1, 2 and maybe another horse off the inside rail here today. The way horses are really getting home in that section of ground, the way a couple of them have appeared beaten at the 200 and one drop out of a place, have fought back like caged lions, so I'm blowed if I know. Anyway, Handle number 7 hasn't had to come round one horse and has scored at $8.40 and 2.10. Number 7 the winner. Number 3 is second, Quinella de Waterhouse. Suspect G-Boss has paid $1.60, and third goes to number 9, and that is Transmit C. Brown, has paid $3.10. Number 1, Max Success, was fourth. 7, 3, 9 and 1. The time was 1:23.06, which will stand as a class record until broken. The winner, having now won twice from 8 starts, by Charnwood Forest from Virtuose, a 3-year-old bay gelding, Gay Waterhouse, Lenny Beasley. First 4, $1,370.70. Max Success hunted hard early, then got the sit behind the 2 leaders. Had a lovely run through on the rails as Mr. Brave Lad hung coming to the corner, couldn't go on. Suspect every hope, but blow me down. Handle right along the 18 pence and did the rest to win by a long head. A length and a quarter second and third. 1:23.06 sectional. 30 overall. The sectional was 36.18. Nothing flash for the...
Okay, wasn't anything flash home. Suspect was run down by its stablemate on the inside. Ian Craig calling the action at Randwick. Transmit in third position. Musical fans will appreciate the naming of that. Handle and a Virtuose by the ill-fated Charnwood Forest, who stood at Widden Stud for a few years and produced some lovely, lovely types. Cheltenham, we're 6 minutes off. Market looks this way, out to 5.70. Corvain 6.30. And other changes, Intelligent Star enjoying support. Bush Outlaw into $19. Caulfield, 7th race on the card. And Diamond Diva, number 5, is Vince Hall. So Vince Hall aboard Diamond Diva. Top 8 in betting. Good luck with whatever you've tried at Caulfield. The ratings went 2 and 10 equal, ahead of 1 and 3. And Dan made them 4, 2 and 12. He went the way of accused for Brendan Fennick in the All Cerise. Going in is Comedy Court, Matthew Gatsride, and on screen there is Dalla Vista. As it goes forward, we go trackside. Dan Malecki for the call of our first feature race from Caulfield today.
Thank you, Brendan. Open race it's turned out to be. Favourites Dash for Cash and Corvain have both been very easy on track. Intelligent Star initially drifted out a couple of points, but it is firming up, and any late money that's in the race or significant moves are for Intelligent Star. It's at $9.10 on Super Tab. Dash for Cash is the favourite at $5.70. Little Dozer $5.90, but much better odds on track. $6.10 for Corvain, $7.30 lazing about, the 8-year-old going for his 4th win in a row. And Accuse at good odds. It's been solid through betting at about $8.10. Thong and Pushpike, the grey resuming. And Bush Outlaw. A nibble for it at bigger odds too. Drawn barrier number 1. It could improve. Kashkai goes into the line. Let's Planet just about right. Corvain still out. Trainer of Mr. Casanova, Conan Alderson, may set that horse for one of the Tasmanian Cups. Mr. Casanova was impressive, very strong at the end of his races, and Colin Allison will expect the horse to stay. He's got a lot of faith in the horse. He'll expect him to get over a bit of distance, and either the Launceston or the Hobart Cups might be right up the alley of Mr. Casanova. They're ready to go. Christmas handicap is over 1,200, and they're racing now. Bush Outlaw jumped away quickly nearer the inside, showing some early dashes, lazing about, and also Dash for Cash is right up there. Wider out was Intelligent Star and Rancho Spark. They're all showing early speed. Dropping in behind them was Corvain, and then came Tears Royal, Cash Kai. Next is Thong and Push Bike, the grey about midfield from Comedy Court wider, and then Accused, well back Della Vista, Little Dozer drifting back with Yellow King, and Let's Planet is over on the rails. About 600 left to travel. Bush Outlaws narrowly in front. Out 3 wide was Rancho Spark. Around Dash for Cash and Lazing a Bounce up there sharing the lead. About 2 lengths off them, getting up to about 5th is Intelligent Star around Corvain. Thong and Push Bike is making ground the rails from Tears Royal, Cash Kai, Della Vista and Accused. Turning for home, Bush Outlaw just the leader. From Lazing About, Dash for Cash, Intelligent Star, and then Thong and Push Bike. It's Bush Outlaw just in front. Intelligent Star knuckling down with Dash for Cash and then Tears Royal. Intelligent Star moves up on the outside to hit the lead. Dash for Cash trying to kick back, but Intelligent Star is too good, wins by a head. Second Dash for Cash and third Bush Outlaw, then Tears Royal. Running on well, Let's Planet was an eye-catching run. Accused passed a few of them in the straight, then Della Vista lazing about. Thong and Push Bike with Tears Royal, Yellow King, Corvain dropped out of it, Cash Kai, Rancho Spark knocked up, Comedy Court, and Little Dozer was never a chance. Intelligent Star, number 3, Stephen Baster, from a wide barrier, and it was too good. It had to find something because Dash for Cash was ready for a stoush with 100 to go, and they may have bumped once or twice, but Intelligent Star was hands and heels over the latter part of the last 100 metres and has got the verdict, not by a big margin, but he was first up since the Goodwood handicap. He's only had 14 starts, 8 wins. He's building up a really good record. And on that performance today, he's come back maybe even a length better. There could be much bigger things in store for Intelligent Star. He's a pretty smart horse, a 5-year-old by Picnicker and trained by Mick Price and ridden by Stephen Baster.
Yeah, it was impressive, wasn't it? Intelligent Star's winning strike rate continues. Dan Malecki trackside at Caulfield, awaiting Quinellas and Trifectas to come through. This head-on could be interesting, with Intelligent Star, yellow cap, white sleeves looming up on the outside of Dash for Cash. Accused ran a good race, although not threatening for a place in the All Series back on the fence. And Let's Planet came storming home as well. And this stage, the grey Dash for Cash overhauled by Intelligent Star first up and collects the cash. Still no sign of exotics through as yet. Eagle Farm, we are 7 minutes
after the first considerably, and a good atmosphere here. You can hear the crowd roar as the horses flatten for the run down to the line in the various races. And in the Summer Cup won last year by Lanolin, who backs up again this year. Air War number 10 is the favourite, and Air War on Tab Limited is $4.80 and $4.60 now, and $2.20. $4.60 and $2.20. And the second pick is number 1 at $6.50. And then behind Altero, second pick is number 7, and that's Daniels the Man at $6.90 out to $7. $8.70 for Zarayev, number 6. Good race. Now here's Pristine Partners coming up. Previous of the day, won by Handel. Number 7 beat 3 and 9. Now they're all set, ready to run in the 2001 San Miguel Summer Cup. And the gates are back, and off they go. A lovely start it was. Daniels, the Man, jumped quickly, and so wider out did Zarayev, looking for the lead. Third is Deer Hill, and then comes Miss Zoe, followed on the fence by Majestically. Then Parhelia, Air War trapped out wide, followed by Altero on the inside of Lanolin, followed 2 back by Silent Impact, Power of Pegasus and Asylum, and last of all is Pristine Partners past the 2000 as they turn out of the straight, and Zarayev is the leader clearly now from Daniels the Man. Deer Hill in the third posse on the fences majestically. It's outside Parhelia. Altiro midfield on the inside of Miss Zoe pretty wide, and between Miss Zoe and Altiro Lanolin. Aslam over on the rails. Air Wars trapped on a limb from Silent Impact. A horse off the fence. Next to last is Power of Pegasus, and 3/4 Pristine Partners. 1600 out in the Summer Cup as they work to the back of the track, and Zarayev 3/4 of a length on Daniels the Man. 2 away. Third is Deer Hill. Majestically running fourth, followed by Parhelia, then Altiro, wide Miss Zoe, the centre Lanolin. On the fence is Aslam. Air War the favourite, trapped on a limb from Silent Impact. 2.5 to Power of Pegasus, and 1/2 the inside Pristine Partners. At the halfway down the back, going past the 1200, little or no change, and Zarayev out by 1/2 to 3/4 of a length on Daniels the Man. Deer Hill next from Majestically, and then Parhelia followed on the rails by Altiro. Miss Zoe no luck, followed by Lanolin a length and a half further away Aslam, and then Air War, Silent Impact, and a couple of lengths Power of Pegasus and Pristine Partners. In the Summer Cup they work their way down the High Street side at the 800 marker, and Daniels the Man is serving it up to Zarayev, tracking them Deer Hill, Majestically scraping paint, followed on its outside Parhelia. Altiro locked away, and then Miss Zoe, followed by Lanolin, Aslam, Air War, Silent Impact ridden for dear life. 2.5 then to Power of Pegasus, and last of all as they swing Pristine Partners, straightening up and little between Zarayev and Daniels the Man. Majestically off the rails, but not quite into the open from Parhelia. Aslam's gone along the fence, Lanolin into the clear, Altiro's not, and then Deer Hill and Power of Pegasus. Zarayev the inside, Daniels the Man, and now Majestically is getting a clear crack at them, and Majestically quickly swept to the front. Power of Pegasus coming late, but Majestically in full flight, and Majestically wins the Summer Cup. Photo between Zarayev and on the outside Power of Pegasus for second and third, then Altiro Lanolin, followed by Aslam, Daniels the Man. A break then to Deer Hill, Parhelia, Pristine Partners, Silent Impact, and the two that covered the most ground on the run have run second, last and last respectively. Air War the favourite, and Absolute Miss Zoe. Majestically wins the Cup. Majestically ridden by Darren Beedman. He sat behind the pace. He just needed to run. It wasn't quite there as they straightened, but down by the 300 there was plenty of room, and Darren pushed the little fella through the gap, and Majestically has taken out the first prize of $130,000 and an owner's trophy worth $700 for Graham and Julie Pash. Graham, of course, former chairman of the STC, still on the committee, and Graham and his wife Julie would get a great thrill out of their little horses win here. 3, 6 and 8 are the officials. 3 Majestically, 960 and 310. Number 6 Zarayev, Brian York second, 280. Number 8 is third, Power of Pegasus, ridden by Corey Brown at $3.60. 1 Altiro was the official fourth. First 4, $7,046. The winner has now had 31 starts for 8 wins, 4 seconds and 3/3 by the ill-fated Maroof from Rose Cay. What a tragedy, Maroof at such a tender age. Was lost to the breeding industry. A bay gelding, a 5-year-old Majestically, and Jack Denham off the scene. Jack for quite some time through a hip replacement made his return to the racecourse last Sunday, I believe, at Hawkesbury, and here today has trained Majestically for another great triumph in his career, and certainly Jack no stranger to success in the Summer Cup. In fact, I'm just trying to think of his last winner here, but anyway, that's for the statisticians a little later. 3/4 of a length ahead, 2:28.99, 36.06 the sectional time, as we confirm the official totes for you.
And on screen you can see them. Quinellas Exactas Trifectas, 2:28.99. First 4 players, number 1 in 4th position. That's the Summer Cup from Randwick. The Christmas handicap's not too far away, in 4 minutes in fact. If you would like to know more about the chances of Marin Cheval, let's hear from Ben Claridge, this horse's rider, talking to Hilton Donaldson earlier.
How good was that first up run?
Yeah, he did let down quite nice. He's not quite the honest horse like every owner would like to have. He puts in a bad run every now and again and gets away with it. Barrier 3 today, he's probably brought him into the field a little bit closer than his ability actually is. So hopefully we don't have to do too much work early, and we should be there without having to do too much work and something to run home with.
Do you think he's up to the class rise?
I'm not quite sure. I don't know much about the horse, but I think it is definitely his toughest test to date now. For the barrier brings him into it. Just need luck, and hopefully he's on the ball.
7-9 Comforts. Here's a ride out of the blue in a black type race you can't claim for the John Hawke stable. How'd this all come about?
Yeah, no, I'm not sure how it come about. Just the boss put Wayne Kerford on Tennessee, and then Davo asked me why wasn't I riding it, and he said he hadn't got a ride, and I said throw my name in the hat, and he's put a few in there, and mine come out. So
They reckon John Hawkes is back in Adelaide for Christmas, so you might impress him today.
oh, I'd like to. Yeah, no, he's not sure. I think he might have knocked up last start over the longer distance, 2500, but he wouldn't put it in if he didn't have a chance. No.
For sure. Now, a horse that you do know very well is the horse that you won the Minderey Halidon Cup on last start, Brave Decision. How's he going to go first up?
I'm not quite sure. I haven't been able to get around riding many work from Mr. Smith. He's not too happy about that. But yeah, he normally takes a couple of runs to hit his peak. He gets over a bit more ground, so hopefully he should be running on strongly.
Okay, interesting to hear Ben Claridge's thoughts. Marin Cheval, he said perhaps not the most genuine, but gee, he blew them away first up from a spell. Second up has won before. And with 3 minutes of betting time, Marin Cheval is outside the top 8 in betting. Big field going around here. If we get the chance, we'll show you the full market closer to start time again if you're playing exotics. Speaking of big races, we just saw majestically winning the Summer Cup at Caulfield. Rosebeat, the year younger half-sister, goes around as the favourite as we check out the market. 1, 9, 3 and 4, the ratings. Both out of a very good mare called Rosecay, who's a full sister to Triscay. So the bloodlines are very nice. Majestically is by Maroof, the sire of Hit the Roof, and Rosebeat by Rhythm, the sire of Ethereal as well. There's the market. Check out Rosebeat. Short quote, Queensland, much shorter, $1.70. Best bet of the day from Tony Brassel, Alf Matthews, Dan Malecki. We'll go on with the list of tipsters who are very keen on the chances of Rosebeat. Not too far away, Cheltenham. Now the full market, if you're playing wide or looking for exotics, looks this way. Romalada firms in. More action, still shows very good odds. Second up from a spell, has won 2 from 7. And more action today with plenty of admirers, albeit not quite the favour of the likes of Raleigh and Ken Cheval on those tote prices. And over the page from there, $8.30 for Real Time. Quality horse who began his racing career, this horse by Desert Sun in Adelaide, went to Melbourne. And today tackles the 1450 metres. Wyndham Special at $8.80. Marin Cheval at $40. Interesting race this. Chad Lever rides Currency Rep, which is drawn all right too for today's engagement. And we'll jump in gate 7. Big field. Wyndham Special well tried on course as we go to Hilton Donaldson.
Very much so, Brendan. A very good go, in fact, Wyndham Special. And on the TAB, you can see 880 at the moment. That's a massive over. Wyndham Special drawn out in 16, but you'd expect her to charge forward at the start. Now, Real Time goes in. Stablemate Countback has a pink cap on. Here's Reckabar coming forward. Ken Cheval comes up. So half the field seems to be locked away. Romalada being led round. Wide open on course, but Wyndham Special is the course favourite. Ahead of, well, in a group, 1 more action, 2 Romalada, 5 Raleigh, 8 Ken Cheval, and then that's about it. They're all, you know, getting out towards double each way quotes, but it's a very open race. Exalted Lad goes in. Currency Rep comes forward. Clearly the best back runner's Wyndham Special. There's been a little bit of specking at longer odds for Aptego, which surprisingly I thought was massive odds, but he's come back in quite a few points, Aptego. Sedonic comes forward. Countback walking up. Wyndham Special, the barrier blanketed Dimness. Furnish from the Territory. Trainer Viv Oldfield on course today. Part owner Steve Smedley's here as well. Alice Springs Turf Club president, or SEC manager, I should say. Now Dimness goes in. Furnish to be the last.